This is part two. This part is to inform you of the present danger for myself for speaking out and what I know. So, like I said, I came to Atlanta February of 2023. I got hurt on a MARTA escalator. The crooked people at MARTA in Atlanta and various attorneys that I had hired turned around and took bribe money from the MARTA people in order to try to sweep my case under the rug, to try to tell me that I had no case. But so why did you take the case in the first place, like you were all eager to take the case, and then within 40 days of having the case, I don't hear from you anymore. When I contact you, you then say that, it's going to be hard to prove anything. When nothing changed, all the information, videotape that MARTA has videotape of what happened. And they're holding on to it, and they're not giving it up. Right after I got hurt, how about I had the bus driver, 3 different bus drivers that drive for Cobb Link started treating me differently all of a sudden. I was in a wheelchair. I had these people dump me out of my wheelchair, act like they were trying to help me off the bus and literally dump me out of my wheelchair. I had an incident multiple times where I had them refuse to anchor my wheelchair properly. They began driving recklessly, threw me out of the wheelchair into an opposite set of seats on the bus. And then on the MARTA train, I had another incident where it was very similar. Knowing that I'm in a wheelchair, it's like the MARTA train conductor didn't care. They allowed me to load onto the train, but not get to the area where I could be anchored. Then on top of that, they are slamming on brakes, accelerating extremely hard, more than usual. And at the time, I didn't want to think that that's what was happening, but you couldn't ignore it. Because I had been catching MARTA for years. Never had that issue. So, fast forward, I got all these injuries, and it's like, they don't care. They were trying to railroad me. Here's how bad it got. So, I came from Houston before I came to Metro Atlanta. I was living in Houston. I know I told you I lived in Albuquerque, and I did. We lived in Albuquerque for 3 years. The last year, the 4th year, we were in Houston, Texas. So anyway, I wound up getting insurance down there. I had Medicaid through United Healthcare. So how about when I got hurt in Metro Atlanta in February, I contacted both Social Security and Medicaid office in Texas, so to let them know I was not coming back to Texas, so please cancel the insurance so that I could pick up insurance in Georgia. Well, how about multiple times they lied to me and a different social workers and adjusters at in Atlanta. So long story short, they have intentionally gone to sabotage my ability to get insurance coverage in the state of Georgia because I can't have dual insurance. Not only can I not have dual insurance, I can't have an out-of-state insurance company pay for insurance in a different state. So Georgia can't accept Texas's insurance for no reason under any circumstances. So if I've communicated for over 15 months that I am not living there, I'm not coming back. I have communicated this multiple times. They swore they were going to disconnect it, but didn't. What else am I supposed to think other than this was intentionally done to sabotage me? Because if I can't get insurance, I don't have transportation. I don't have a chair at a dialysis clinic, meaning I'm supposed to get dialysis 3 times a week. But I'm not getting it 3 times a week because I don't have a chair at a dialysis clinic. I don't have a spot. So without a spot, I'm left to have to go to the hospital for emergency dialysis. Now, that's not terrible, because I can get it. I just got to go through the ER room, the emergency room, and go through the same protocol that everybody else goes in to the ER under the same thing. You got to get triaged and go through that whole process. And that's a process. Imagine having to go to the ER 3 times a week, every week. It's not possible to live a normal life and do that. Not only that, it causes further deterioration of my health, which is what they want. Because once again, let's circle back to the fact that it's like they're trying to kill me. I have videotape of doctors doing things that don't make sense, giving me medication that I've already told them I've had a bad reaction to. This last week, I was in Piedmont in Gwinnett County. I told the doctor that I don't want to be taking any treatment for hyperkalemia that involves taking dextrose and insulin. That's a process of trying to lower the high potassium levels. Now, there are, that I know of, 3 treatments. There's that one that I just mentioned, dextrose and insulin. There's another one called, what is it? Localma or something like that. And then there's a breathing treatment that they can give you. And they can do a combination of Localma and the breathing treatment to lower the potassium. But every time I go in the hospital, they're constantly trying to give me the one with the dextrose and insulin. And anybody that knows anything about insulin, especially like I do, remember Marianne Moore's, Halle Berry's former endocrinologist? Well, anyway, anytime you give a non-insulin dependent person insulin, it has great potential to cause that person to become insulin dependent, or shall I say diabetic. If you don't believe me, Google. So anyway, why are the doctors intentionally trying to cause diabetes with me? Because it's the one thing that I don't have an issue with. And they know that it looks odd and very strange that I have kidney failure, but no diabetes. See, once again, that goes right back around to Noelle Marie Scott doing something to make me sick. Because all these doctors and nephrologists that I've spoken to said that it's possible that high blood pressure could cause the kidney failure, but what they see the majority of the time is that kidney failure is caused by diabetes. And I don't have diabetes. Never even been anywhere near close to diabetes. Never had any issues with my blood sugar then or now. So, and I want to address this faggot. And I don't care how y'all feel about that word. I want to address this faggot named Mello. He talks shit over the phone, but he don't do it in face to face. What kind of guy, what's going on today in today's world where you got a man that's got 4 kids living off another man's work and then wants to sit here, take it upon himself to try to cause division between another man and his son who is autistic, who doesn't exactly understand. But you want to work with the mom and lie to a kid, try to turn him against his father. Why would you even want to sit with a woman that will go along with something like that? What kind of weak-ass man are you? Huh? What kind of weak-ass man are you? You ain't no man, bro. You ain't no man. You ain't no man. You a sissy. But if you want that raggedy crap that I've thrown better shit in the junk pile than her ass, bro, you can have it. I don't want her. You think I'm gonna argue with your ass over a piece of shit? No. You can have her. You ain't got nothing special. But it's just the tale and the age-old story of the narcissist winds up with another narcissist. That's their karma. That's their karma. But what kind of woman what kind of mother goes to railroad her own child, who's a young black male, into the system? Huh? And then I want y'all to know about this bullshit defects worker named Olivia. I don't know her last name. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about Atlanta so that you all know. Don't ever come to Atlanta. If you had any thoughts of coming to this shithole, don't. Atlanta's a piece of shit. The only thing is for is crooked scammers and gay and the LGBTQ community. That's all this here. Ain't nothing honest and decent in Atlanta. Despite there's gonna be a lot of people that'll jump up and say, I'm a decent person, I'm a Christian. And they evil ass is the very reason why so much shit goes on in the metro Atlanta. All that I'm a Christian shit. Damn devils. I'm going to tell it to you like it is. I'm going to give it to you blood motherfucking raw. So here's what happened. So when I got hurt on the MARTA escalator, my son was with me trying to help me. There were people that saw my son trying to help me get around. He was helping me get around in my wheelchair. So I go to Northside Hospital in Atlanta. I get this racist German prick that's supposed to be twin brothers, the Vayner and Vayner. At the time, I don't know if they're nephrologists or cardiologists, but I was given their card. Vayner and Vayner. Two ugly German-looking assholes. This man had a nerve to tell me that having end-stage renal failure was nothing and that I should look at trying to go back to work as if I hadn't tried already. He then gets mad because he sees that my son is there at the hospital with me and he's gaming. He's playing his video game. Because what else is he supposed to do while he's sitting in the hospital with me? I mean, he can't provide medical care. He's there because he's with his dad. So anyway, he's on his gaming laptop that I bought for him. And this Vayner got an attitude. Well, unknown to me at the time, this man goes to set me up with the police and DFACS. Tells me to go be at this Fresenius on 14th Street in Atlanta. I think it was 14th Street. And so I go thinking that these people are concerned with me getting dialysis. And I get there. I get there. And the woman is like, you need to leave. I said, I just got here. And she's like, no, you don't understand. And so at the time, I didn't think anything of it until I start seeing, one police car, two police car, three police car, four. And then I get this female officer that comes up from Atlanta PD, comes up with this black guy from Atlanta PD, asking about my name. I told him my name. And they said that they needed to talk with me. And they're asking, why has my son not been around his mother in 4 years? And I said, because she didn't want to be. I said she could email stupid emails, but she never once did anything, asked him how he was doing. She didn't talk to him on Christmas, birthdays, nothing. Not only that, she had a nerve to sit there and collect benefits from the state of Georgia for him knowing full well that he was not living with her for over 4 years. She filed taxes. That was fraud. She filed for Medicaid, food stamps, all of that, knowing full well that my son was living with me all the way in another state. So anyway, this social worker from Cobb County. Now this is what don't make sense. I'm in Atlanta. Why did a social worker from Cobb County show up talking about I'm supposed to have surgery to have my leg removed? Like they're trying to speak something evil over me. And I don't have any issue with my leg at the time. Now here's what's crazy. So I didn't have an issue with any of my legs at the time. It was the issue of the injury that I suffered to my back and my hip area because of the accident on the MARTA escalator. So anyway, she says to them that I had a warrant out of Carroll County when I know I didn't. I had no such thing. So this female officer separates me from my son, claiming that I have a warrant and that my son had to go with the social worker. I told them, prove to me I got a warrant. And they were like, it's right here. Like, it's in the computer system. So these people, I'm not feeling good, so they have to take me to Grady. So I'm down in Grady, maybe 2 hours. I hear this racist white cop who's talking all this shit while I'm there, talking about if you don't give me any problems, you won't have any problems out of me. Mr. Hillbilly, Billy Badass. And then, I guess his superior came down there to Grady. She was yelling at him and said, let him go. And he said, Sarge, what? She said, you heard what I said, let him go. So then he walks back in where they had me. I'm like, it's your lucky day. I don't know what happened, but you're free to go. So now you take me, you falsely imprison me. You take me from my son, take my son away from me, using the excuse that I had a warrant that I did not have, and you still don't return my son? Claiming that, it's the state, his mother has rights. Okay, well, she abandoned him. That's how I got him in the first place. She was leaving him at home for days at a time with no food. She wasn't washing his clothes. She wasn't doing anything. She was running around, high, dope, prostituting herself. So that's how I wound up with him. An officer told me that was abandonment. He said, if she ever does it again, go get your son. It didn't even take 5 days. She did it again. And that's exactly what I did. I went and got my son. So anyway, I want the world to know that Miss Olivia is a liar and a crook. She supposedly works for Cobb County DFACS. Now, my son, there are multiple people who have interviewed my son prior to coming back to Georgia and even after coming back to Georgia. And they can all tell you that under my care, Kralis was well behaved, clean, fed, and had everything he needed other than a stable place to stay because of what happened. Okay, because I lost my place because of the way we were being treated. Okay, and I think these people were behind it because it wasn't a matter of me affording it. I had the money. Matter of fact, I want to deal with another topic. So on the way back here to Georgia in February, right before the Super Bowl that year, we were in Arizona. I had the money. I took off a little time with my son, just to kind of, give him room to breathe somewhere and see something different. So we went to the Phoenix area. And we stayed at a Sonesta Select. We stayed at a Sonesta Select hotel in the Phoenix area, suburb of Phoenix. I had $20,000 of my money from the car accident where the tractor-trailer truck stolen. When that money was stolen from me, I had these racist cops in Phoenix act like I didn't have that kind of money. I'm sitting there with proof. I have the letter that tells how much money I got from the accident. I have the letter from the bank that tells how much cash I withdrew from the bank. I even have the bands that have the serial number for the money that for each stack of 10,000 that I had. I showed it to them. I gave them pictures as well as showed it to them physically. And these people still treated me as though I was a liar and a criminal, when I'm the one that was the victim. And it was somebody that was either a police officer or somebody that worked at that hotel. Somebody came into my room, and I had the money in a vanilla envelope. I never showed anyone at the time of check-in or any other time at the hotel that I had that money. It was in a luggage case that was a hard shell luggage case. In that hard shell luggage case was an MPC, a Kai MPC Live 2, along with the money underneath, and my laptop was in there. The same type of gaming laptop that my son had. I purchased two of them, one for me and one for him. The MPC and that laptop were untouched. The vanilla envelope that was at the very bottom was missing. Now, the thing is, the only person that knew I had the money was my son and I. My son was not aware of where the money was, nor how much money I had left. So, not to mention, he was with me the whole time, never out of my sight. So I know that my son couldn't have told anyone. He did not do it himself. That's another thing. The cops try to insinuate that my son may have taken it from me. My son he wasn't even 16 at the time. There's no way he would do anything like that, because he knew how much we needed the money and we depended on that money for our well-being, to take care of ourselves. So he wouldn't have done that. But anyway, that's what led to the instability after I got hurt in Metro Atlanta. So right now, I'm just trying to protect my son. I need legal assistance with this matter because a good kid that is a brilliant kid, he's autistic, but he's a brilliant kid. I am a manufacturing engineer by trade. I taught him a little bit about computers, and he has surpassed me when it comes to his understanding of computers. He has a deep love and passion for STEM, for science, technology, engineering, and math. And it's like these people in Carroll County, they see him as a threat instead of seeing him as the child that could go very far with the right help and assistance. Instead, they want to railroad him into the system because he's just another number on a black male, and they don't care. And this Officer Sullivan and this Judge Parham are trying to railroad Kralis Marcel Thomas. That is his full name. Born November 17th, 2008. So please, anyone, watch this video to the end. Share it. People need to know what you're dealing with. These doctors and nurses, they're for a bribe from anybody. They ain't got to have no money. Just a promise that they'll get some money. And these folks will do you in. That's what they've been trying to do to me. I'm sitting here suffering with fluid on the lungs. Because I can't get the dialysis that I need. I've had a dialysis tech try to kill me by injecting a blood clot into me. I had another dialysis tech in Houston, Texas, named Charles at the Fresenius there, who sat there and told me when I tried to get help from social services, he said, if you're thinking about reporting me, I can do whatever I want to you, put whatever I want in your chart, and no one will be the wiser. Do you know how many people could have possibly died at this man's hands? And he was a former Marine. He used to be in the military. And now you all are trusting somebody like that with that mental state in order to care for people who are some of the most vulnerable people out here. What does this country come to? What does this world come to? Mother against child. This makes no sense. Makes no sense. Y'all out here bickering, men over men at women, women at men. You're not being mothers, you're not being fathers. What's wrong with y'all? People that were supposed to be your friend, were your friends for 20-some years. Now all of a sudden, they don't see you because you're grown, you moved out of state, and now they're your enemy for some reason. What is it, jealousy? What are you jealous of? What do I have that you don't have? I probably have less. But yet still you want to run around here with your jealousy and hatred in your heart and talk about being a Christian. And you wonder why the world is going this shit in the handbasket like it is. Y'all don't get it. You don't get it, but you will. I tried to tell you. I didn't put the video out, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You got 40 days from the date of that eclipse. 40 days. That was April the 8th. Today is May the 4th. You got 14 days to get your shit together, folks. Or you're going to start dropping like flies. Mark my words. I don't say this without it coming true. When I say, as it was ordained before the foundation of this earth, mark my words. If you don't get your shit together before May 18th, your ass is grass. And the good Lord gonna be the lawnmower. It's gonna start May 18th. Y'all gonna start dropping like flies. You either been sealed with the seal of the devil, or you've been sealed with God's seal. All of y'all out there, take heart. The ones that are out there homeless, you ain't homeless just because of some mishap. They came against you because you are God's chosen, because you are marked. Why you think so many of y'all been honest? Huh? Why you think you got these videos on YouTube of people giving, helping someone, and these people are willing to help these other people, not knowing that they didn't need help? And they were willing to give these people their last. Huh? But you folks are sitting up here in your pretty little house. You want to be a part of these little communities on being on devil time. Oh, you think it ain't coming for you. You feel the heat. It's coming for you. That's why you're broke. That's why you can't afford nothing. That's why inflation is getting worse. You think there's going to be a way out? You're always thinking there's a way out. You've been trained to think, I can get around it. There's a way around it. I'll look for it on the internet, social media. You've gotten so accustomed to thinking there's a shortcut to everything. No, not everything. Not everything, family. But y'all gonna see. You finna see it. And by the time you see it, it's too late. Just like the prophet Jonah. It's too late by the time you see it.